of the generics here? Rajesh, I'll give you the permission at the end. If you guys are having any question, please ask me at the end. Okay? Anyone? Today, I'll be with you. I'll close the session by 10 o'clock and I'll be with you till to get clarify your doubts. Please join from the laptop, those who are having the issues. Okay? Yeah, module means that only. Nothing is there in the module to learn. Nothing is there in the module to learn, man. Okay, right. Now, generics are nothing but the general data type. So that means, suppose let's say, I created a function and the function is going to be, let's say, print data is the function that what I'm at. When I'm taking the data, which is of type number, and I'm writing some logic here. Now, how do we call that? Simply, let's call the print data where I supposed to pass the 100. Then we don't have any issues, right? It is printing the data or not. Tell me. That means I'll be using here something like console.log. And here, if I'll be writing something like data, then what happens? The time when I'm calling, it will be printing it as 100 and we don't have any issues. Suppose let's say in place of that, when I'm using print data of welcome, if I'm using, is it printing the data or not? Tell me. Tell me, is it printing the data or not? Is it printing? No, it gives an error because as you know, TypeScript is a pure type-safe programming. Once you define that type, then you must have to specify the value. That's okay. If it is if it is going to be, I can say at design time, I can specify the type where I'm able to see that. But let's say I'm getting the data from the database or I'm getting the data from that API. If that is a case, we don't have any guarantee that sometimes it might be an integer or else like some number type. Sometimes it will be, let's say, a string type data that what I'm getting. And sometimes I'm able to get, let's say, the data type is going to be of type of some class that is an employee. Sometimes it would be a class that is trainer type. Sometimes it is a Boolean type. Like that, if I'm able to get the data, then how I am able to restrict it? Because you see, in TypeScript or in JavaScript, overloading is not possible. I cannot create something like this. Is it possible? Tell me. I cannot create something like this because when I'm creating the same function, understand, with a different data type, generally this is what we call it as overloading. Overloading is not possible here. So if that is a case, it would be a problem for me. Then how do we overcome that particular issue? How can I overcome that particular issue? To overcome that, what I'm trying to do is I'll be using the concept of generics. Generics are nothing but general data types. That means these are used to create the parameters, or else these are used to create the parameters with special types, and those types are decided at runtime. Understand? Those types can be decided at runtime. That means we can create them with the help of that, and those can be divided at runtime. Generally speaking, in latest version of TypeScript, that is the TypeScript 5.0, we have another option. Earlier, like what we have done, we created a function and maybe the function name is going to be the display, and I created a variable which is of type number I have given. And when I'm trying to, let's say, write something like console dot log if I'll be using, and then when I'm giving X, then it is accepting to pass only the number type, right? But now what happened, the latest versions in the TypeScript, whatever like you define, you can give a R symbol, that is the pipe symbol, and you can give it as going to be some type string, and maybe you can give it as going to be some type boolean, like that also you can do. So this is a new syntax that we are having. So in the above case, what happened, when I'm calling display, I'm able to pass only 100 because it is defined it as going to be an X, and which is of type a number. But here in this case, the same display, whatever we are having, I'm able to pass, let's say, some integer value, that is some numerical value that what I can supply. And at the same time, when I'm giving some string value, where I can give that string value. And at the same time, I'm going to give some Boolean value also. That is fine. Understand? That is fine. But why should I create like in that way? I just wanted to create something and where I can specify at the time of calling so that it should accept exactly the same type of data. So how can we do that? But to do that, I'm creating the third type of syntax with the help of generic. So how we can do that? Maybe I can use the same display, and what I can do here, I'll be using the generic type and create the parameter of that particular type. Understood what I am doing? Understand? Now here, T that what we are having is going to be the generic type. Shrikant, what is T? T is nothing but it's a generic type. Shrikant, in place of T, can I give any other? Yes, you can do that one. That means generic types can be created with any name. With any name, you can create the generic types. It doesn't matter that we should have always T. Understand? You can give your name and you can give my name, you can give Angular, and whatever it might be, any name you can give. And by using that, you can create the variable. Then how I can call it? Simply at the time of calling, if you can specify a type as going to be the number, then it should accept only the number type. And at the same time, when I'm going to create a string type where I can pass only a string type data. And at the same time, when I'm giving, let's say, Boolean, where it is going to accept the type as going to be true or false. Understood? So that means based on the type of the value that we have specified, based on the type of the data that we have specified, this function, whatever we have created, will behave exactly similar to that. Understand? Will behave exactly similar to that. Suppose, Shrikant, can I pass like an array? Yes, you can do that. And maybe I can use, suppose, let's say, I wanted to provide a number array. Then what I can do? It is accepting the data only of type number array. That's it. Like that you can do. Understand? Suppose, Shrikant, can I pass like, some tuple data? Yes, you can do that. Some, can I pass like, let's say, some string data, or else can I pass some, you can give like, any data, it doesn't matter. And here I'm having like only one. Suppose if you wanted to have multiple, then you can give a comma and you can create anything. That's up to you. Understand? So generic data types are going to be, generic data types can be created with any name. It doesn't matter that. Okay. It doesn't matter that it can be of any name, and we can create the generics at the time of declaration. We can create the generics at the time of declaration with the help of placeholder. So the combination of less than and greater than, together we call it as a placeholder, guys. Do remember the combination of less than and greater than, together we call it as a placeholder. That means we can create the generics. Understand? We can create the generics at the time of declaration with the help of what? Placeholder. That is how it is going to be. Okay, that is how it is going to be. And inside the placeholder, we define a type that is a typed parameter. The name is going to be typed parameter. The name, what we call it as typed parameter. That is how it is going to be. So you can just try with like different. Maybe I can show you by creating a simple example. So how we can do that? Maybe let's say I'll be opening our examples, whatever we have. Go to the D drive, and there we are having full stack Angular. I have the TypeScript. Maybe I can create a command, and where I can just go with the code space dot I can give. Now here you can see I'll be creating, one second guys. Right. Now what I can do is, I'm going to take, let's say, person is the contract that we are having, where I'm having something like this. Now what I want to do, I'll be creating another one. Okay, another one that is going to be, let's say, export. I'll take an interface, and then I'm using user data is the one that what I am having, where the user data is having what two things. The first one is going to be name, and the type is going to be the string, and then we have an ID which is of type number that what I can give, and then job which is of type string, and at the same time is active, and where I can give it as going to be Boolean. Now here you can see I'm using what? An interface here, and I'm exporting that interface, and the type of the interface is going to be user data that what I'm having here. Understand? User data that what I'm having. Now this user data, just assume that this user data, I'm having something like this. Just assume that here I don't want, okay, let it be. As somebody asking me about export and import, that is where I'm telling. Now what I can do, I wanted to access this particular one in an employee. So how I can do that one? Simply, you can just give a class. Okay, class is going to be user info or whatever I can give. And from where it is going to be implemented? User data. Suppose if I'll be using the user data, there you can see we have an error. What is the problem here? Cannot find the module. Guys, you can see cannot find the module that what it is showing me as an error. Now, what exactly here? What happened? Like when I'm using like this, like what happened here? Nothing is here because user data is not available directly. Rather, it is available in the person contract.ts file, right? Did you understand? Somebody is asking me like, when I'm starting modules are completed like that. I really surprised nothing is there in the module to discuss apart from that. Mr. Paul. Okay. Now you can see this is how it is. Now user data is available in a separate folder that is the person, and I'm trying to access that in the employee folder employee. So how we can do that one? For that reason, what I'm trying to do, I use that import statement. What you wanted to import, I wanted to import the user data, and where it is available under the person folder, and there we are having the person contract. There in that particular file, I'm having the user data. That time when I'm using the user data, I'm able to get everything. Understood? That is what the modules are going to be. Module means what? Export and import statement. Suppose if I'm not having any export statement here, you see, it is not imported. Understand? It is not imported. So that is how it is going to be. We must and should have what? an export statement in one module, and that export can be imported in another module. Module is nothing but what? Okay, module is nothing but what? It's a simple, I can say, folder structure. Maybe you can take like that. Prasad Gavale, why you write those members again? Okay, again in user info class. Prasad, I already told you yesterday. Yesterday, I already told you in JavaScript, do we have the interface concept? In JavaScript, do we have the interface concept? Then whatever we have that interface here, that will be completely removed once if it is converted into the JavaScript, right? Yes or no? Then how this class come to know that what are the variables or what are the methods the interface is having? Tell me. That is the reason. Okay, that is the reason. Okay, right. And the next thing here, I coming back to the generics. Sorry, coming back to the generics because like I don't know. Yesterday I have explained that, but people are asking me, so that I have explained one more time. It's okay. Now you can see here. Here, what I can do, I'll be creating like a simple generic example. Maybe I'll go to here in my application. Let us add a new one, generics.ts, that what I can give. I'll keep this and remaining close. Right. I'll keep it open. Now I just wanted to create a generic class. So how do we create the generic class? Now you can see I have a class and the class is going to be student info. And before that, generics can be used at anywhere, guys. It doesn't matter. We use the generics. We use the generics either at function or class or interface, etc. Anywhere you can use it. That's up to you. Anywhere you're supposed to use it. Now, how do we create, like, let's say at function level, I'll show you. At function level, if you wanted to create, maybe you can write something like function display is the function. Maybe display data is the function that what I have created. And I'm going to create the generic type as going to be T, where I created an ID and the ID is of type T. Understand? And it doesn't matter that, like, as we have the generic type, can I use like, different types? Means yes, you can do that. Maybe I can take the name and the name is going to be the string type, that what I can say. So it doesn't matter that, like, as we have the generic type, we don't have any restriction that, like, not to use the normal type. You can use the generic type and you can use the normal type, any type that you can use it over here. Now, what I can do, I just wanted to, let's say, print the data. And not only the data, I'm going to print like what type of data that we are having. That is also I'll try to print. So first I'll print what ID is. Let us have that ID. I'm using ID is. How to print that ID? I'll give a dollar here and where I can give ID. That is the first one. And at the same time, let me give name is. I'm giving a dollar where I can give the name. This is the one. And at the same time, whenever if you people wants to print the data type, like what type of data type it is going to be, we use console.log. Data type of ID is. Data type of ID is. I'm going to give something like ID. And at the same time, data type of name is. So don't give directly ID. We have a function that is going to be type of is available where you can give the variable name. That's it. And here also what I can do, I'll give a dollar where I can say type of is available where I can give what? name that what I am having. That's it. Understand? Now the purpose of type of is used to identify the type of the variable. Okay, just let me write type of it is used to identify the data type of the variable that what I can say. It is used to identify the data type of the variable. That is how it is going to be. Now, how I can call it? Now you can see, I'll save this application. Now I'm going to call. Now, when I'm calling like display data, now it is accepting like what type of data you wanted to pass as the part of that ID. First time, when I'm giving it as type number, that time when I'm giving the number, ID will become what type? See this? ID will become what type here? It is of what type? Number. So that I can say 101, comma name as going to be, let me give Shrikant as the name. Now you can save this application and then maybe you can run. Before that, what I can do is I'll be compiling it TSC space generics dot TS I can say. Now you can see when I go with the generics.ts, we don't have nothing. Generics are not supported here. Understand? It is normal types only generally here. But in TypeScript, we have the flexibility. That is how it is. Now I'm going to execute that. How I can do that? Simply node space generics.js if I'm giving. Now you can see the ID is what? 101 and the name is going to be Shrikant. And at the same time, the data type of ID is what type? Number. And the data type of ID is going to be what type? String type that we are having. Understood? Now, maybe let's call another time. And this time, I'll take it as going to be string type so that I can give 102, comma, name as going to be, let's give Hari. Now save this application once. And now this time you can see I'm compiling it. And once if the compilation is done, execute it. Now you can see 102 and Hari. But the data type of ID is what type here now? What type we have specified here? See that. What type we have specified here? It's a string type. That means we have a flexibility. We have a flexibility of what type of data type can be given once if you create it as a generic type. But directly if you can specify the data type, then you cannot change it, right? See, for the name, see here the first ID, one time I'm passing it as going to be 101. Second time I'm passing it as string type. Third time I can give a different type. But every time if you can see, for the name, I'm giving the data of type string only, right? Yes or no? I'm giving the data of what type? String only. So that is where we have less flexibility if we can directly define that. But if you can stop doing that, if you can give, let's say, a generic type, we have more flexibility and also we are able to get the type safety. Understand? Generics are type safe. Type safe in the sense, whatever the type we wanted to pass, you can pass it over there. That's it. That is how it is going. Understood? Hello? Hello. Right. Now here you can see the generics that we are having. I used it as a syntax one more. Yeah. Now you can see here I clated a generic here and I'm using it function level. Shrikant, can I use the same generic at application level, class level? Mostly we will be using at class level. Shrikant, can I use that at class level? Yes, you can do that. How we can do that? Just let me comment this code. What is the purpose of the comments? Tell me. comments are ignored by the compiler. Those are used by the developer point of view only. Understand? It won't be executed at all. That is how. Otherwise, I'll do one thing. I'm going to delete this JavaScript file. And for this TypeScript file, what I can do is I'll be using generic function.cs. And I'm going to compile it. Sorry. What error it is? Generics function. Okay, I'm sorry. That, oh, still. Control C is the shortcut, guys. Control C is the Control K is the shortcut. Okay. Now you can see this is what, like, generic function. Fine. Now, can I use the same generic at class level? Yes, you can do that one. So how we can make use of it? Just you can create another one. Maybe I can write generic class that what I can use .ts I can say. Generally, like how to create the class, we use the class keyword. Okay, we use the class keyword, and maybe the class name is going to be, let's say, student info. Here, you can create with any number of types. That's up to you. Maybe I can say T comma yes, that what I can use. Understand? That means if you wanted to have, like, the multiple generic types, then just separate them with the help of comma. And now here what I can do is I just wanted to create an ID, private ID, which is of type T I can give. And at the same time, when I'm giving private, name that what I'm having, which is of type yes, I can say. Understand? Which is of type yes, I can say. Now I wanted to initialize the value. So how we can do that one? Just let me give the constructor here. And with the help of constructor, I'm giving that ID as going to be the T. And at the same time, I'm having name as going to be, let's say, yes, I can give. And I'm going to initialize the data. So how could I do that one? Simply ID is equal to, okay, ID is equal to, I'm giving the ID. And at the same time, name is equal to, I'll be giving the name over here. Understood? I have a constructor. Even in the constructor also, I supposed to specify. Now at the same time, we have a function that is the display function, which is of type void, and I'm going to print the data. So how I can do that? Console dot, we have the log, and there I can say ID is, okay, I'll be removing this. ID is give a dollar where I can give ID, and at the same time name is, okay, I'm giving here it as going to be name. Name is going to be, I'll say dollar this dot name I can say. That's it. So this is how it is going to be. Now what I have done, I created a student class here where my student class is having two generic types, and I'm creating two variables of that particular type. I used a constructor to initialize the data, and last I'm using a display method to display the data. Now how I supposed to execute this particular one? Now you can see I'm creating student1 is of type student info is equal to new student info that what I can use. But you see, this time, when I'm creating like that, it is asking me to pass what types you want to specify. Now you can see, it is asking me the types or not. Tell me. Yes or no? requires two types argument because I have not created a normal class here. If it is a normal class, it's okay, but I created here as a generic class. I created here as a generic class so that once if you can create that, you must have to provide the type. I'm giving the first type as number and the second type as going to be the string. And at the same time, when I'm creating an object here, see this, the first type is of what type it is expecting? A number, so that I can give 100. And the second type it is asking me to give a string, so that I can give that particular. Clear now? Now the remaining things are same. std1 dot, I'm calling the display function. Now maybe for the second object, you can see std2 that what I am having, where I can have the student info, and here I can say that string comma string only that what I am taking is equal to when I give new student info. Now this time you can see ID is of type string, and at the same time name is also of type string that what it is. So that I can give that ID, and where I can give EMP or else let's say std102, and at the same time the name is going to be, maybe I can say Rajesh or whatever. You can give some name, and you can see std2 dot, we have the method that is the display, so that automatically it will be. So that means we have a flexibility that we can pass any type of data. It doesn't matter that we go with only this one. Understand? We can give like any type, that's up to you. We can give what? Any type, that's up to you. Clear? Hello? Clear or not? Understood. Very good. Nice, nice, nice. Now let me execute this one. So how we can do that one? I'll compile it first of all. Let's say TSC space generic, okay, generic class dot ts I can say, and then node space generic class dot js if I'm giving. Now you can see I'm able to get like 100 and welcome. Okay, welcome I have given now. Okay, and ID is 102, and the name is going to be Rajesh or whatever, any name, like whatever it might be, that I'm able to see. So T means type, S means what? Both are types only. Both are types only, guys. If you wanted to have like one, you can. Here I'm having one. But if I wanted to have multiple, then what you can do? You can give any name in place of T and S. Maybe Shrikant, can I give like Sri and Kant? Yes, you can give. And here in place of T, I can create my type as going to be Sri, and this is of type Kant. And here also I can give it as going to be Sri, and here also I can give it as going to be Kant. That's it. Now you can see. Now what is Sri, what is Kant? It's all about like what? The data type, general data type, generic data type. Understand? It's a generic data type. Now, Shrikant, like how to pass the data at the time of calling? I'm creating an object of, let's say, student info. At the time of calling, whatever the types you specify, those types are replaced here. Understand? Those types are going to be replaced here. So that is how it is going. And these concepts, like whatever we have learned so far, we are using 100% in the Angular or React or Vue.js development. Understand? 100% we will be using these concepts only, nothing apart from that one. If anything is required, then we'll come back to that particular individual concept. And because when it comes to Angular, I have around 4.5 to 5 years of experience I have. Still, I'm a working professional, not into completely the training. I'm working as a technical lead, as a .NET full stack developer, generally, where I have not into that. I'm mostly into the cloud and the client side and server side and all. I'm a full stack. So out of my experience, I'm telling you, these concepts are more than enough in order to start with Angular application development. So now, Triveni, it's a programming. We have like lot. There is no end at all. Okay, there is no end at all. Every day there will be a new concept. Whenever the requirement comes, then only we can go and use it. Understand? Until unless like if you wanted to be in the TypeScript completely mean, then it might take a year to understand. Right? You can take public. See, I'm taking here private. Somebody is asking me, Shrikant, why you have taken private? Why not like, the public? You can take the public, man. Why you are asking that question to me again? You can take public and you can try what happened. If it comes like output, it's okay. If it is not comes output, then you can try like why it is not coming an output. But in my case, why I'm taking that private mean always the variables should be of type private because of the encapsulation. Understand? Because of that encapsulation, we are going to encapsulate everything to the class. So that is what the reason where I'm taking it as private. That means abstraction reason. I don't want to expose my variable names outside the world. That is where I'm taking it as private. Private is a good practice generally. No, Srikant, I'll go with public means there is no change at all. You can use the public also. Understood? Yeah, that is where like I'm telling you, whatever is required, that much if you can learn, then that should be perfect. Right. So this is all about the TypeScript. According to me, even like fresher or 2 3 years experienced person also, this is like more than enough with respect to the TypeScript. Now we are jump back into the next one, that is the Angular development. Now I'm going to start working with the Angular development again. Now you see, we have seen like the very introduction of that Angular and how do we set up that environment also we have seen, and how do we write like the TypeScript programming we learned from last couple of days, around 7 to 8 sessions completely we were in TypeScript development only. Now it's time for creating a brand new Angular 15 application and the folder and file structure. That means what are all the files and what are all the folders that are the part of Angular application development we will be understanding. And before that, again I'm repeating the setup and the environment. Setuping the environment. Understand? Before we are going to jump start into the directly Angular application, I'm explaining one more time how we can do a setup process. That means what are the softwares are required. That part I'll be explaining it to you. So when it comes to Angular application development, when it comes to Angular application development, when it comes to Angular application development, we need like few software requirements are there. So the first one is going to be this. Right. So in order to create that Angular application, there are few software requirements. That means few steps are very important. So the first one is going to be Muhammad Rizwan is saying that my voice is not clear. Guys, is my voice is clear for all? Very good. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right. So the next thing is going to be creating an Angular application. Creating an Angular application. So how do we create an Angular application and what are the software? So the first software is going to be software or else steps to create Angular application. Steps to create. Step number 1, install Node.js. Install Node.js. That is the first one. Am I install the Node.js or not? So how could I install it? We'll go to the nodejs.org and then download the latest and stable version. LTS means latest stable version. And click on OK. Click on OK. Then go for the next. Don't do anything. As I have installed, like, the very latest version, it is showing me already you have a latest version. What you want to do? I don't want to do anything. Just I'm canceling it because it was already installed in my mission. So the step number 1 is going to be install the Node.js. This will install npm also. Okay, that is the first step. That is the first step. Node.js and npm. npm stands for what? npm stands for what? It's a Node.js package manager. Very good. Now what the Node.js package manager will contain? It contains all the list of packages that are used are required to build the application. Whenever if you wanted to build that application, we need to have few libraries that are required, and those libraries we are going to install with the help of npm only. With the help of npm only, where npm stands for Node Package Manager. These are the two things that are required. And step number 2 is going to be install the TypeScript. That is required. Install the TypeScript. Now, what is the purpose of the TypeScript? TypeScript is a scripting language which is used to generate the JavaScript code automatically. Which is used to generate the JavaScript code automatically. That is the need of the TypeScript. And so far we have seen like how to work with the TypeScript. And to install the TypeScript, how we can do that? npm will provide a command for us that is going to be npm install. Okay, npm install -g for the global installation. And what you want to install, I'll go with the TypeScript so that automatically the TypeScript will get installed. Understood? Automatically the TypeScript will get installed. And third step is going to be, what would be the third step here? Third step is going to be install the IDE. I used here Visual Studio Code so far from these many days. Okay, VS Code. I'm using Visual Studio Code, and I hope you people have already know about it. Visual Studio Code, like how to install and each and everything, that I hope I have already explained to you. And that's okay. Now what I can do, I'm going to install the next software, which is completely new to you, is going to be Angular CLI. So the fourth step is going to be Angular CLI. Angular CLI has to be installed. Now, what is Angular CLI here? Angular CLI is a is a command line, is a command line interface. Angular CLI is a command line interface which is used, understand, which is used to create, okay, which is used to create, develop, test, build, and deploy the Angular applications. That means Angular CLI is a command line interface, and the purpose of it is used to create that application, or else develop that application, build that application. Like that, you can do many things with the help of Angular CLI. By using Angular CLI, we are able to generate the components, directives, comma, pipes, services, etc. with scaffold options. Scaffold option. Now, scaffolding means what? Scaffolding is something like it is a automatic code generation. That means whenever if you want to generate the code automatically, there you can use what? Angular CLI. Angular CLI is what? It's a command line interface which is used for, like, from the beginning to till end. Whenever if you want to build an Angular application, Angular CLI will be used. Now it is used to generate what? Either component, directive, pipes, services, understand, guards, classes, interface, anything, whatnot. Anything you people can create with the help of Angular CLI by writing the command. Now, how do we install the latest version? How do we install? And here there are two things that what I'm trying to tell you. The first thing, guys, do remember, first time installation. Whenever if you want to do the first installation, when we do the first time installation, use the below command. What command has to be used? npm, where it stands for Node Package Manager, install -g @angular/CLI you can use. That means first time when you install, like, that Angular CLI, there you can use this one, npm install -g @angular/CLI has to be used. That is when the first time. Now, once if the installation is done, this is for what? Installation purpose. Installation. And to check the version, we use ng -version. So this is what purpose of it is going to be. Check the Angular version which is available, which is installed, I can say, which was installed. Now you can see the latest version of that Angular is going to be Angular 15, guys. Angular 15 is the latest version. Now I'll try to open the command prompt, and I'm giving a command, something like ng -version. If I'm giving, 1 second. So single hyphen, I guess. Okay, then ng version only, maybe, I guess. Yes. -v. Just give me a minute. -v if I'm giving. No. Okay, anyhow, ng version, I'm sorry. Maybe like in Angular 15, that is a bit different. So To check the version, you can give ng space version you can give. Now, which version I'm having in my system? Which version it is? It is 15.1.4. First one is the major version, second one is the minor version, and third one is the build version. We always taken care about the major version. And right now the major version is going to be 15, that what I am having. So just to take care of that particular 15, nothing apart from that. Okay. Nothing apart from that one. So just to take care of that 15 only. 15 is the latest version. That means I have in my system, I'm having latest because I'm taking the Angular sessions even in the morning as well. So that is where I come up with the latest version. Suppose there is a new version. Suppose there is a new version. Then how? That means if we have already installed, and we wanted to, just give me a minute, please. Now you see, if we have already installed and we wanted to update the version. Update the version. If we have already installed and we wanted to update the version, then what you can do is first command is going to be uninstall the existing version. Okay, uninstall the existing version. So how we can do that one? npm uninstall, okay, -g @angular/CLI. So that means if you have already installed and you wanted to update the version, then first thing is going to be uninstall it. Okay, uninstall the Angular from system. Uninstall that Angular from the system. That is the first step. Second step is going to be clear the cache. Okay, clear the cache. Now I'll be writing a command, something like npm cache verify. Now, what is cache here? Cache is something like it's a memory. Whenever if you are doing the frequent operation, based on the frequent operation, sometimes it stores the data. So I don't want to keep that data even once if the installation. That means it's a kind of vacuum cleaner where it clear everything with respect to that Angular. Understand? Even if something is there after installation also, there might be a temp files or whatever. When I'm running a command, something like npm cache verify, it will clear everything, whatever we are having. So clear the cache also. Clear the cache, I can say. And then install the latest version. So how we can do that one? Just you can use the command, something like this. Install the latest version again. So it's very important. Most of the people, they found difficulty over here. Understand? They found a difficulty over here. It's very important for us to have something like this. Okay, na? Right. So this is all about the installation steps. First thing is going to be install the Node.js. That will install that npm. Second thing, install the TypeScript. Third thing, Visual Studio Code. And fourth one is Angular CLI And then if it is, there are two things here. First time installation, how it would be, and second time installation is how it would be, that you can verify. Understand? NPM is a node package manager. It is an online library. It is an online library where you can have all the packages, all the client-side packages. When I open, let's say TypeScript, now in the TypeScript, you can see that we are able to see the TypeScript is available. Suppose you wanted to install Angular CLI. When I type Angular/CLI, there we have a package. I wanted to install, let's say, Bootstrap. There you see, we have a package. I wanted to install React.js. There we have a package. NPM is something like, it's a kind of like, a package manager. Package manager in the sense, it is a kind of Google Drive, I can say, where you can have all the client-side libraries that are available. Understand? And where to run? Good question. Nothing, guys, just to open the command prompt. Just open the command prompt. Then by default, for the first time, command prompt will start. Command prompt will start from the base location. There you can install. There you can install everything. And good question. Like, I hope Java people, they have the Maven, right? Maven repository to download all the packages, right? Am I right? Maven only, right? If it is a .NET developer, I hope you know about NuGet Package Manager, NuGet Package Manager. Exactly similar. Here we have what? NPM, Node.js Package Manager. That's it. The way how the Java people, they download the packages from the Maven, and the way how the .NET people, they download the packages from the NuGet, in the same way we have, for the client side, we have NPM. And like that NPM, we have many Gulp. Okay. Maybe like that will come. I'm not sure, like, if why they haven't teached, I don't know that. Okay. But maybe that will come definitely. Without having that, advanced programming cannot be completed. Advanced application development cannot be completed without knowing the Maven and all in Java, as I remember. Okay, exactly similar to this one. So any questions here in this installation part? No questions. Very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. Okay, now it's time for getting clarified. Just give me 1 minute, please. Give me 1 minute, please. Who are facing issue, just and who are in front of the system? Okay. Yeah, Dineshwar, you can try that. You the same question, you can type it in the Google. You will be getting. Who are facing that issue? First, tell me, like, who are not able to install? Who are not able to install anything in my system? Not install the Visual Studio, but I tried Angular CLI install command. It is not required. It is not required to install the Visual Studio. Visual Studio is different. Visual Studio Code is different. Both are different, guys. Please install the Visual Studio Code. I'm telling you from very beginning, no need to have a live server and nothing apart from that, Rahul. It is also not required for me. You don't need to see. It's all like, making you, thinking you like, different way. I don't need to have even the live server. You don't need to worry about it. I don't know about like MacBook. I'm checking the version of Angular. It is showing the current version of Node is 8.5.0. Is not supported by that Angular. So I uninstalled and again installed that Angular. But it is showing me Angular CLI 14, and Angular CLI, node is 18.15. Then what you can do is at the time of installation, just you can specify the version that what you wanted to install. Maybe you can give 15, then automatically it will get installed, guys. It's okay. You can give yes. It is asking you like, the Google privacy or whatever. It doesn't matter. Like you can just say yes simply. That definitely will work it out. No need to worry about it. Okay. Yeah, we can give. See, at the time of installation, you can give what? Either you can give at the rate 15, that is the latest version, or you can give what? Whatever the version you people wants to give. Either it is, let's say, 13 version, 14, 15. That's your wish. See, every installation, as I told you, when you open the command prompt, there you can just use this. That's it. Deepak, did you install check the Node.js version? Node and NPM. Please check those two are installed or not. Deepak, Deepak Sri Krishna. Please check Node-V and NPM-V. Okay. To check these two installed or not, you can give Node-V. Okay. Node-V. After that, NPM-V. If you people are having these are installed, then automatically the TypeScript will get installed. Okay, Deepak Sri Krishna. 1 second, guys. Deepak